A week after deadly floods hit Texas Hill Country, people are sifting through decimated homes and trying to figure out how to start rebuilding. We hear about it time and time again after natural disasters, victims turning to FEMA for federal assistance. But how does it work, and how long does it actually take? In the days after a catastrophe, the agency provides serious needs assistance for things like food, water, diapers, or fuel, a one-time payment of $770. But for long-term assistance, the kind you need to piece your home and life back together, the process is more complicated. And for Texas now, it starts with whether you have flood insurance.
So few people have flood insurance across the country, especially in inland communities like what we've seen over the past week. Most flood insurance policies are sold through FEMA's National Flood Insurance Program. That's not the same as emergency grants.
If you have FEMA's insurance policy, steps for filing a claim can be found on its website. It says it can take up to 8 weeks to get paid. And if you don't have that, FEMA says you have to file a claim with your insurance company and hear back, exhausting all other options before applying for individual assistance from the agency. And all that can take a while.
Every claim is different. There's not a one-size-fits-all. Some are simple to resolve and some are more complex.
FEMA has come under intense scrutiny in the last few years for how it's handled previous disasters.
8 months later, some places around Asheville still look like a disaster zone, and the lives here still in limbo question support from the federal government. President
Trump also criticized FEMA when visiting Asheville a few months after Hurricane Helene.
Fundamentally changing, terminating, or overhauling FEMA's been a disaster.
After these Texas floods, a former FEMA chief of staff in the Obama and Biden administrations pushing back, telling the AP this is a defining event that can help them realize that a FEMA is essential. Still, this week, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, whose department oversees FEMA, suggested giving more power to state and local authorities.
This entire agency needs to be eliminated as it exists today and remade into a responsive agency.
This week, FEMA opened a disaster recovery center in the area and is now providing individual relief to people in 6 affected counties. In the meantime, Texans are trying to help where they can. More than $3 million raised through GoFundMes this week, and tens of millions more donated from businesses big and small. In Kerrville, neighbors and total strangers stepped up to help clear out a home hit by 3 feet of water from the Guadalupe River. The owners don't have flood insurance.
This couple here, they're in their late 80s. They have a daughter that is disabled, and I just want to help people. And that's what life is. That's what humanity is helping other people.
Many Texans eager to accept any helping hand as they wait to see what kind of aid they may get from the federal government.
And still ahead tonight. So actually, we have Aaron Gilchrist here. Aaron, please.
Well, Stephen, I really just wanted to talk about the FEMA footprint now, right? We talk about the fact that FEMA opens itself up to people who want to apply for assistance, but they do have a presence on the ground. I just spent a couple of days in Kerr County, Texas, and you didn't see FEMA T-shirts like you have in disasters in years past. We know that there have been some threats and violence against FEMA workers in the past, and so those sorts of things aren't there anymore. But the Secretary of Homeland Security did say that there were 700 plus FEMA staffers and volunteers on the ground in the flood zone across those 6 counties in Texas. And they also are managing other federal agencies' response, if you will. We know that search and rescue teams have been brought in from other states, and that is a FEMA-managed process. We mentioned the Disaster Recovery Center that's opened. That is the Texas Emergency Management folks, along with FEMA and the Small Business Administration, and they're helping individuals and small businesses. Folks can go in and sit down with somebody from FEMA face-to-face and talk about their needs. FEMA will tell them that in order to qualify for some of that individual assistance, people have to first check their own homeowner's insurance or renter's insurance, and FEMA sort of tries to step in to fill the gaps. They're helping people understand where they are in the process at this point and what's possible for them in the future, Stephen. We know that this flooding event was one that is going to have ramifications that stretch on for a lot of people for a very long time. There was a lot of destruction and devastation that we saw across Kerr County.
Certainly is. And being from Texas, I've seen on my own personal Facebook timeline just so many GoFundMes popping up for people who are trying to start that process of rebuilding not only their homes, but their businesses. A long journey. Aaron Gilchrist, thanks so much for that reporting.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.